Hi, my name is Lauren, and I'm going to start off by answering the first question. So, first, I'd just like to touch on the fact that I'm really passionate about early intervention. It's actually the reason that I started OT in the first place. I think it's so important to intervene as early as possible in a child's life to allow for the best developmental outcomes and therefore the most functional and meaningful life that they can possibly live. The interest in working in these countries is that people with disabilities in both of these countries are often stigmatized and excluded from their communities. And along with this, they just don't have the same access to healthcare as we do, and so they don't have access to intervention or therapy that would allow them to integrate and participate in their communities better. I strongly believe that everyone deserves the same access to healthcare no matter where you live or who you are. I would really love the opportunity to be a part of a program that not only allows intervention to happen while we're there, but also that educates and creates change that will be ongoing into the future. I'll now move on to the second question. So I'm currently on placement at the Children's Life Skills Clinic at UQ, where I've been working in interprofessional teams with physios and speechies. I've really learnt a lot from these experiences. It's really helped me understand the different approaches and the different lenses that each profession uses to observe and identify where people's tasks are breaking down. This has helped me understand all the different aspects of a person that can affect the overall function, and I really think this has helped made me a better OT. It's shown me and made me appreciate that working as a team is often necessary for the best outcomes for a client. Working in a team means that many minds are working together to form therapy that targets all areas needed to improve their function, which may not happen if you're working on your own. I really learned that our professions are intertwined and that one really can't exist without the others. I would really love the opportunity to continue developing my interprofessional skills and continue to be educated on the other professions. I really love working in team environments, and it's something that I've really enjoyed doing while I've been on this placement, and I would really love to continue being educated on this, and I think the IPIC placement is the perfect experience for that. So now I'll answer question 3. So as OTs, we try and look at a person as a whole and understand their personal interests, their motivators, the occupations they participate in, as well as the environments they interact with and how these environments allow or affect their participation. I think working in Vietnam or East Timor, which have completely different cultural settings to what we experience here in Australia, will educate me on how culture and where you live can impact on all aspects of a person and the environments they interact in. It will also show me all the different occupations that these people participate in, as I imagine they're participating in occupations that are much different to what we experience here in Australia. I think it's a really valuable learning opportunity to understand how culture can play a part in people's needs, wants, and their goals. Having a better understanding of these things will help me become a better OT that is more inclusive of different cultures and have a better understanding of how each individual can be different depending on their background and their life experiences. It will help me become more culturally sensitive and allow me to have a better understanding of people when providing therapy. And considering we live in such a multicultural society, I think that's so important. The IPIC placement is an amazing opportunity to build these skills and one that I don't think we could get in Australia. So I'll now answer question 4. I think there's going to be many challenges that we face going into this placement. However, I think the biggest one will be the language barrier. I think this could be combated by learning some basic language and phrases to show that you're trying your best to communicate with them and to help build rapport. I imagine there'll be lots of translating, so I will be able to use my communication skills to correctly portray what I need to be translated. Along with this, I think we should use visual aids and demonstration to help communicate our ideas and what we'd like people to do. Another challenge will be working in an interprofessional team, as I imagine there will be differing opinions and disagreements. I think the most important thing to help in this is remembering that all decisions need to be made with the client's best interests at heart. To navigate my way through these differing opinions, I would use my good communication skills to properly portray my opinion. I would ensure to listen and value other people's opinions and ensure to hear them out. I think it would be important to meet halfway a lot of the time and make compromises when needed. I have definitely had to navigate through these challenges in my current placement. My partners and I have had many differing opinions on how to progress with therapy. And the way that we've navigated through this is by proper communication, listening to each other, being understanding, and most often mixing our ideas to create the best outcome for everyone. I've also spoken to friends who went on this placement last year, and the one thing they said is there is a lot of the unknown, that you don't know the cases that you'll be working with, you often don't know the diagnosis that they have, or the difficulties that they're facing. I believe that I'll be able to navigate these experiences due to my resilience and my ability to communicate with others. I think it'll be important to be having conversations about the communication, about the best way to approach individual clients and discussing informations and observations from every profession, so you have the full understanding of the client and the difficulties they're facing. This will allow us to build and create the best therapy and resources for each client. I'll finally answer question number 5. So I believe I possess many attributes and skills that allows me to be a great candidate for the IPIC placement position. Firstly, I love to travel and experience new cultures and understand their way of life. I have travelled to Thailand, to the islands of New Caledonia, as well as all around Europe. This means that I've experienced living in many different cultures. Therefore, I should be able to settle into Vietnam or East Timor, allowing myself to immerse into the placement well. It was also mentioned in the information session about this placement that we're expected to work with a range of different disabilities, including cerebral palsy. I have had a lot of experience working and interacting with people with disabilities and with children. Firstly, I volunteered and worked at the Cerebral Palsy League. I volunteered for the Screech Theatre Productions program, where children of all backgrounds and abilities are given the opportunity to be a part of a theatre production. Here, I helped create ways for each child to participate as best they can in performances, no matter their circumstances. I also helped organise the practices and the final production, where each child got to perform on stage. I then moved into a paid position at the Cerebral Palsy League in the capacity of a carer and a childcare worker. I worked in a vacation care and respite program for children with disabilities. Here, I gained the experience of building rapport, interacting, and caring for children with disabilities. I also helped build activities and strategies that will allow all children with all different abilities to participate. I then worked at the Nabathong State Special School for vision and hearing impaired children. At this school, I worked as a